Yeah.
Tammy,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tammy?
Yes. Yeah, please, Saeed, please. Go ahead.
Can you give us an update on what is expected on Saturday with the Iran talks? Because Foreign Minister Arachi's column in the Washington Post yesterday made it very clear that there would be no talks if the U.S. was insisting that they are direct. And, of course, the position, as repeated today in the cabinet meeting, was that they will be direct talks. So do you still expect these talks to take place on Saturday? And will they begin indirect talks and then move to direct, or is there some resolution of that?
Well, I'm not on the team that makes that decision or has those conversations, right? And we're not going to litigate that here. As I said on Tuesday, and repeatedly say really about everything, if the president says something, that's my North Star. And they're the ones in the midst of the discussions regarding the arrangement of this meeting, and we'll leave it to them. So I'm not going to speculate on that or what will happen. There are clearly some very, very good and very important diplomats involved in this, including, of course, Special Envoy Witkoff. And we'll leave it there. We'll find out. At this point, yes, that is still underway. It's happening, and we look forward to it as a good first step to find out if the Iranians are serious. Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tammy. I wanted to have a comment. The French president yesterday said that France would recognize a Palestinian state within months, and he suggested that he could do it alongside Saudi Arabia at a UN conference in New York in June. The U.S. has long opposed any unilateral recognition. Is that still your position? Do you have a comment on his...
Well, I can tell you that we are aware of course, the reports that you refer to regarding the French government's remarks, and we refer you to them for further comment. What I can also, though, say is that the United States stands firmly with the state of Israel in its pursuit to bring all the hostages back home and the defeat of Hamas. The groundbreaking Abraham Accords and the devastating October 7th attacks have forever changed the Middle East. As a Special Envoy Witkoff has said, we need to explore new policy prescriptions that ultimately end up in a better life for the Gazans and the Palestinians. Look at the discourse that's now happening today, he said. We're actually engaging in a productive conversation around what is best for Gaza and how we can make people's lives better. This administration will continue to engage our partners in the region on a serious solution for Gaza that secures peace and the release of all the hostages, among them 5 Americans, including Idan Alexander.
Terry, can I just follow up on that?
Sure.
Very quickly? It's not just about Gaza. There's West Bank also. So, I mean...
Well, I think it's fair to say that this is a region that has been in turmoil because of the support of death squads by Iran. Yeah. And so you have this dynamic that has been continuing and predictable and not stopping, and ceasefires being broken by the same groups. That's why when we say yes, new ideas for Gaza, and the new idea that could break the Gazan people free from being hostages themselves of Hamas, is the same kind of solution that is also going to help the entire region. That is it. This is not an isolated framework that only fits into a corner. This is a solution that is for the region, and our regional partners, of course, understand that as well. Nadia.
Thank you, Tammy. Just to follow up on Leon's question, the president said that he's open to different ideas. So when the secretary goes with him to Saudi Arabia next month, will that meeting also be expanded to have a Middle Eastern conference whereby the Palestinian issue will be discussed?
Well, I don't know what the plan is when it comes to the content. That is something that we would have to speculate about or guess at, and we really shouldn't do that, obviously, with a multitude of issues facing the region. So it's the details I can't imagine about. It's not something I'm going to do, but I think that kind of a visit. Of course, is the hallmark of President Trump's vision when it comes to his own presidency, but also how to change the course of the Middle East and to make it better for everyone there. So I know that he's looking forward to having conversations that surround that aspect.
And
Yes,
Iran,
sir.
just quickly, just follow up.
One more. Go ahead.
Just on the technicality. So is this meeting on Saturday is going to be one-off, or it depends on what has been achieved on Saturday? And will be a direct talk, i.e. in the room, it will be two delegations, the Iranians and the Americans, and the Omanis in the middle, or the exchange of conversation will be across the table?
Well, what happens on Saturday would, I suppose, determine whether there's more. Right now, this is a meeting that is arranged. It is not part of some larger scheme or framework. It is a meeting to determine whether or not the Iranians are serious. And so that clearly would be the goal of that singular meeting and effort. As far as the arrangements or what the rooms are or who's in which rooms, I don't have that for you, and I'm not going to speculate. Yeah.
Tammy,
Yes,
can
sir.
I?
Yes, sir.
Tammy?
Thank you so much, Tammy. I really appreciate it. I just want to go back to your response to Leon, where you said we need to explore new policy prescriptions that ultimately end up in a better life for the Gazans and the Palestinians. Are they one and the same in your mind, or are you disassociating the Gazans from Palestinians?
So I'm talking about the people in the region, the people who live in the Gaza Strip. That's who we're talking about, the people who face a danger every single day because of the nature of what Hamas has done to that region and to that strip of land. I think that no matter who you are and how you identify, the fact is that no human being deserves to remain in that kind of an environment because Iran is funding death squads that take over the space and use you as a human shield. While we may become inured to that kind of hell, and the people in it generationally become affected and also believe that this is just normal life, that is a crime in and of itself. And there is the human spirit is so strong that we do know, especially for those who survived October 7th, those who got out of the hostage framework. One woman whom we honored here at the State Department, who is a survivor of that massacre. The strength in these individuals who move through this is astounding, how they survive psychologically and physically. That is what unifies us, all of us in this room, all of us engaged in this kind of a framework. It's that it's human beings, it's families, it's mothers and fathers, it's young people dancing at a music festival, it's people of faith, it's people of no faith, it's people who just simply are looking forward to that night or to getting married or to having children or thinking about college or thinking about moving somewhere or just living their life as their parents lived their lives. That's who I'm talking about. And that's what every peace effort that President Trump and Secretary Rubio work for every single day. If there is one thing our generations can look to here, is the fact that we, at the very least, seriously tried. And so when I refer to someone, whatever part of the world they're in, that's who I'm referring to. The Israelis, the Arabs, the Egyptians, the Palestinians, people of Gaza, Jordan, whomever. This is where we have to move past, is the nature of what keeps us together and what unifies us. Yes. Yeah, please, Saeed, please. Go ahead.
On that, the UN Secretary General called Gaza a killing field. He noted that it's been more than a month since Israel has allowed aid into Gaza. Are you guys pushing Israel to allow humanitarian aid into Gaza, given it has been a month and conditions are incredibly dire, people are dying, and you just mentioned folks need to be able to live?
Sure, yes, they do. And when there was, of course, a ceasefire. Aid was flowing into the region. People were getting food and other aid that they needed, including medical aid, because of the ceasefire that allowed that to move forward. We, of course, stand by our ally Israel. The ceasefire was abandoned by Hamas. You know, it's not just a feeling, it's a fact of the matter that there was a ceasefire and aid was flowing. Hamas abandoned that ceasefire, decided that it was, I don't know what they would decide, but it's the kind of thing that monsters do and continue to do. So obviously, the work does continue every single day in that region and other regions to stop the fighting, to make sure that civilians are protected, that the next day that they might still be alive. So because you might not see something in the news, and I know this is your business, doesn't mean, or you don't see announcements, doesn't mean that that work isn't continuing to regain that ceasefire so that aid can continue, as we also stand by Israel and the nature of what's happening for them and how as they still deal with the fighting. This is not good for anyone in that region. But yes, our work continues to get back to that ceasefire, to make sure that people can get aid and to survive this, which is the sole focus of all of our efforts for that region.
The senior advisor to the Iranian leader, Ali Shamkhani, today said that if military threats continue against Iran, Iran will kick out IAEA inspectors and hide its enriched material. What's the U.S. reaction to that?
All right. First of all, these actions, the threat of that kind of action, of course, is inconsistent with Iran's claims of a peaceful nuclear program, right? Also, expelling IAEA inspectors from Iran would be an escalation and a miscalculation on Iran's part. The United States remains deeply concerned that Iran is amassing a growing stockpile of highly enriched uranium for which there is no credible peaceful purpose. Iran is the only non-nuclear weapon state producing highly enriched uranium at this level. Also, beyond the threat to expel the international nuclear inspectors, but also threatening to transfer its stock of uranium to secret locations. And again, why would one need to do that if it was for peaceful energy work? Doesn't make much sense. So again, it is an escalation and a miscalculation on Iran's part if they were to do so.
I'd like to ask about some reporting that we have today that Israeli officials are laying the groundwork for a full military occupation of Gaza, and whether this is something that's concerning to the State Department, whether it's seen as any kind of an overreach or anything that would further inflame the situation in the Middle East right now.
Well, it's clear that President Trump has explained his goals here when it comes to the nature of a diplomatic solution and to ending the fighting. But of course, on any other issue, I'm not going to discuss what another country might be contemplating or its separate diplomatic conversations or considerations it may have. So you want me to speculate or hypothesize? I'm not going to do that.
Relative to the Iran talks, meeting, friendly chat, whatever.
It's a meeting. It's just a meeting. Yes. I don't know if it'll be friendly. It'll be a meeting, an important one.
I want to go back to an older story that's kind of petered out a little bit. A former special envoy for Iran, Rob Malley, was suspended and had his security clearance revoked as a result of some alleged violations of security processes. Republicans were screaming about getting documents from the State Department in an update, and then January rolled around and Republicans kind of went silent on the issue. I'm trying to find out if the State Department can provide any update or commit to providing any update on that scenario.
Well, I can get you an update once we take it back and look for that update.
Thank you.
I'll get that to you for sure.